G'day everyone, what is going on? It is your favorite producer from Down Under, Jhin, back with another video. And in this one, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a dark ambient spacey melody inspired by producers such as PI'ERRE BOURNE or Metro Boomin inside of FL Studio. But yeah, if you are new here, would greatly appreciate it if you do punch that subscribe button for me. And while you're at it, you might as well flick that little notification bell so you get notified every single time that I upload a video. Friendly reminder again that I do stream live over on Twitch every single night from 10 PM AEST, which is 7 AM Eastern. So if you do want to follow me over there and catch up with the shenanigans, would greatly appreciate that as well. But with that being said, let's get into FL Studio and let's deconstruct this sample. Okay, so here we are inside of FL Studio, and honestly, just like majority of my samples, not much is happening with this one. Now, my go-to VST for those dark ambient sort of melodies is Electra, so that's exactly what we used. Now, keep in mind that we are at a BPM of 156, and the sample is in the key of F sharp minor, but the final sample has actually been pitched up to G sharp minor. Now, the first preset that we are using comes in from Electra, and it is the Synth Gang from the Akira Electra X preset bank. Now, all we did just to begin with is we made a power chord where we use the first and the fifth note in the scale. We get rid of the third or the middle note. In this case, it is this F sharp and this C. If we were to add the middle note, that would be this A. Getting rid of it kind of makes it sound a little bit more dark, a little bit more, you know, eerie as well. All we did after that is we just played with notes really close together in the progression. So we went down one semitone in the scale, where it's just C sharp going down to the B. Then we went all the way up to this A, going down just one semitone to the G sharp, and then going down another note in the scale, which is this F. We copied and pasted that over one time, and then for the next 4 bars, we copied and pasted the whole melody over, and then just pitched it down 4 semitones, giving it that dark tension feel. But in context, this is what the first pattern sounds like. As you can see, with the final notes, we actually bump it up 2 semitones just so it's still in key, and it actually changes to the E just to give it a little bit more variance as well. I wanted to make it a little bit different because if we just go 1 and then pitch it down 4, or then 1 and pitch it down 5, that's been used so many times. So I wanted to go 1, pitch it down 4, then pitch it up 1 note in the scale, or in this case, that would actually be pitching it up 2 notes, which changes it to the E. Going on to the next element comes in from Electra yet again, and this one is the ARP Final Fantasy from the Flare XP base gutter pack. And the pattern that we are laying down with this one, really simple. We just went by ear and put something that bounced off the first bell pattern. But in context, we ended up with this. As you can see, it's just repeating itself over and over and over again. I didn't want to go overboard with this ARP because I wanted this one to be in the background as well, but I wanted this to be used as a way to give the full melody, the full sample, some movement. Going on to the next element, surprise, surprise, comes in from Electra, who would have thought? And this one is the Bellamy Bell preset from the Digital Dreams base gutter pack. And all we're doing with this one is practically copying the exact same pattern from the first bell pattern that we do have, but we just get rid of all of those passing notes, just making it really simple. And in context, we ended up with so. Making it really simple so each sound has some space to breathe. You know, if I was to copy the exact same pattern as the first one, you wouldn't really hear some of those passing notes from the first one because both of these bells would be clashing. So allowing one to bounce off the other and giving room for both just made the melody sound a bit more lively and just gave it a bit more character as well. Going on to the next element, it actually comes in from Serum, and this one is the Bass Demon from the Space Coupe Wraith pack, which is free on YouTube. Literally just jump on YouTube and type in Space Coupe Wraith Serum Bank, you'll find it. And the pattern that we are playing with this one is practically just following the root notes, where we go F and then we pitch it up the octave to this F sharp 5, back down to the F sharp 4, E, down to D, up to D5, down to D, and then finishing it on the E, which is the exact same as the bells. But in context, it sounds like so. Having this E here before it goes down to the D, that's what I like to call a passing note. Just kind of gave it a little bit more tension as well, because it wasn't really expected, but it actually sounds nice given the fact that A, it happens at the end of the next bar, and B, it's also a note that's in scale. You can actually go and change the root notes out if you are actually going to be using it as a passing note, because it does actually keep the sample lively and fresh. Going on to the final element, this one comes in from Electra, and this one is just the synth Very Dark from the Digital Dreams bass gutter pack. And all we are doing with this one is just playing some really simple chords, following the chord progression of the bells, but we're just doing the power chords. We're getting rid of the middle note of each one. And in context, it sounds like so. Keeping it really simple because I wanted, a lot of room for the drums to be able to come in, and I wanted to leave a lot of room for an artist. Going on to the effects, with the first Electra, all we have is an EQ coming in. This is the first bell, where we get rid of all of the low end, mainly due to the fact that it's a bell. You didn't really need low end for it. The second Electra, which is the ARP, another EQ comes in, getting rid of all of the low end. With the next Electra, which is the second instance of the bells, an EQ getting rid of all of the lows and some of the highs. We have the final Electra come in, and this one, which is the pad, practically, I'm just going to call it the pad. An EQ, where we get rid of a lot of the lows and a lot of the highs. Then a Murder Melodies, where we're using the underwater preset. If I was to turn this off and play that pattern again, it would have something that sounds like so. Still sounds nice, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of that high end, which I didn't want. So by turning this on and going back to the pattern, we actually get... makes it sound, as the preset says in Murder Melodies, makes it sound underwater. Who would have thought? But yeah, just something like that just kind of helps push it in the background as well. But with the bass, all we have on this one is an EQ, which actually gets automated, where we do get rid of some of the low end, so the 808 actually has room to breathe. All of the bells minus the bass gets routed to this bus here, where we throw on an ambience, which is a free reverb plugin. Do highly recommend it. We don't change any of the presets, but we do change the wet dry to 40%. A Valhalla Vintage Verb comes in with the Tiled Room preset, mix on 18.7, pre-delay on 0, decay 0.5, low cut of 300. RC20 comes in with the Trifreeze preset. Magnitude on that one has been changed to 80%. Now, if you do want to cop this preset, we'll be leaving a download link to it in the description, where you guys can get it completely for free. It is a preset that I have made from a massive bank of mine. Now, everything, including the bass, gets routed to track 7, where we have a sound shifter, where we pitch it up 2 semitones, putting it onto the key of G sharp minor. The fab filter comes in, where we're just brick walling a lot of the low end, because we did have some just kind of creep in, and I wanted to get rid of all of that. Then last but not least, an Ozone 9 equalizer comes in, just so we can boost some of the low end and just aim some of the high end, because there were really harsh frequencies coming through. But yeah, that is how you can make a dark ambient sample inspired by producers such as Metro Boomin or PI'ERRE Bourne inside of FL Studio. If you are new here, would greatly appreciate it yet again if you do punch that subscribe button for me. And while you're at it, click that little notification bell so you get notified every single time that I upload a video. Friendly reminder again that I stream live over on Twitch, so if you do want to catch up with the shenanigans live, would greatly appreciate it if you follow me over there as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next Wednesday for a marketing video.